Greetings YouTube and welcome to the Blue Corner into some more Cardfight OCG tournament results. It's been a couple weeks since the last one of these I did. I figured, again, I'd give it the time, see if we get some more stuff to work with, as given the situation right now, I would not be surprised if we get very little to no tournaments going forward. And in the case of this video, all the tournaments that we're working off of are on March 8th, so which was before things got really bad as they are now. And yeah, so who knows what we'll see. Like, this is Astral Force format part 2, but for all we know, this could be all we get of that. Hell, I don't know if Astral Force is actually gonna get to do anything in the West because so many events have been canceled. Like, it very well may be just the lost format, kind of like how Yu-Gi-Oh's got Dual Overload coming up, which is an insane set, but there's no events to use it in because Yu-Gi-Oh's canceled all of its events all the way up to May, which is crazy. Yeah, so that's the situation that we're in. Obviously, if you're able to still go to local tournaments and because your store hasn't canceled it, then if you want to, go ahead. Just remember, wash your damn hands. Remember, soap and water, whatnot. Like, everyone stay safe. Don't go if you think you're sick, and don't spread it because that's just an asshole thing to do in general. Like, there have been many times where I go to a locals or I go to a regionals and there's someone sick, and I hear a story of how someone got sick because they went to that because their opponent wasn't taking the proper steps. So anyway, let's get on to it. So we have first up the VMC that was held on March 8 on Kota Damansara. It was won by Dimension Police. Second place is Malkuk Melik. Third and fourth were Vanquisher. So Angel Feathers making their first appearance post Astral Force. It only took a ban list to do so, but I do wonder a little bit about this tournament because of the kind of decks we're going to be seeing in here. Anyway, so DP, Dyliner, then is there any other way to play the deck, really? But it kind of makes sense here. Dyliner was good against Narukami in the past. Mind you, that was the Gauntlet build, and Vanquisher can hit over force numbers, but Dyliner being able to turn your grade 3s into shields do help when you're trying to defend against the pokes. And just that ability to randomly kill your opponent because Dyliner has a crit and the deck point Force 2 or whatnot. I actually don't know if this deck would still go Force 2 or not. Like, I don't DP, so it's whatever. Then you have Angel Feather here. Like I said in the past, I had no faith in this deck being able to do anything because I just didn't like its chances. Mind you, now that Kumo and Pale Moon and Tachikaze are dead, it has a better chance. And looking at this build, aside from the Metatron and the Grade 1, I don't think this plays very many of the old cards, does it? Or, I'm trying to remember what is in here that's from even set 7, because you've got Ergodio, the VR from that set, and there might be some other cards in there, because I don't recognize a lot of these. I don't think any of them are the foils that I pulled from set 7 too, so that's a bit of a move. I've got this Angel Feather SP that is not ever going to see me play. Yikes. Anyway, so here you go. And the reason why I call this tournament the question is because of the Nara list we're seeing here. So, this guy is playing... Okay, so, again, I am going to keep saying that you need to max out on Shred. You have no reason not to now that you can't play 4 Tohos. And you're replacing them with Zui-Tens? I don't really like that one. And then this list. Gauntlet Buster? No, don't play Gauntlet. It's not that Gauntlet's a bad card, but this format is definitely not looking to be the format for him. For one thing, Gauntlet loses to Force decks, and secondly, Vanquisher and Jackie Shot can do a pretty adequate job of clearing out your opponent's front row, because if your opponent has a full front row, that just means more bind targets, because you can use your Voltortorn Dragons, your Jaggy Shots and whatnot to get more pops off of Rising Phoenix. And even then, this guy's not playing Voltortorn, he's playing Recklessness, only 1 Shred, and only 3 Bajrans? Like, ew, this list is terrible. Like, I'm just gonna flat out say it, that list is awful. Then we have the Time Lock VMCQ, also on the 8th, 48 people. It was won by Vanquisher, Great Nature got second, Cleric got top 4, and Astral Poets got top 4. And you look at the numbers of the decks played, also top 8 had a Dimension Police, a Vanquisher, a Revon, and a Grand Blue. So if you look at the other decks in here, yeah, there were 9 other decks here. So anyway, here is the breakdown. So BT was still the most played deck in the room, but none of them got top. Aquaforce, Nova Grappler, and Narukami were also tied for the second most played deck in the room, and of those, Aquaforce and Naras did get the top. 3 Shadows and Golds and Dark Irregulars, and one of them did get in there. Then you have 2 Royals, Genesis, Pale Moon, Murakumo, and Great Nature, so 1 Genesis and 1 Great Nature got in there, and then finally 9 others, Grand Blue being the one of them. And yeah, so people are still pretty high on BT, but it's not translating as well now that Revere got that hit. And we look at the list. So first place Vanguard list, this is definitely better than the ones we looked at before, but I still don't really approve of it. I just don't think you need to be playing things like Zuitan when you have better grade 2s to play. The Thunder Break tech is nice, as being able to yeet up guys from the back so you can combo off more, as your opponent intercepting off their grade 2s means that Jaggy Shot might not be able to get that bind off. And this, and also this, get around that. But I think I like Bull Capture more just because it's not an awful ride, and you can still use it as shield if worst comes to worst. I don't like cutting down on Bajrons for though, like it's another extender for this deck. Then you've got your second place Leopold deck. Like, seeing decks like this get more play because of the really stupid Axel decks being taken down a peg is what that ban list needed to do, and kudos for that. Then you got Claret Sword, so this is now starting to see more play. I think this is probably the best Force deck of the format. Then you've got Dimension Police and Astro Poets, which also got in here, bringing up the rear. Like, I do think that this deck is honestly better than Himiko, which I know is going to trigger some people, as Himiko has quite the dedicated following, but I don't know what to really say here. Like, we've seen, I think Himiko's got 1 top versus Astral's 2 now. Like, granted, this deck is a bit more high rolly than Himiko, and Himiko probably gets better once we get orders out. But this deck, when it goes off, is pretty stupid, and you do get more consistency with this grade 1 here. Your grade 2 gives you some force, this one gives you some draw power, these guys give you force. Like, the deck's still high rolly, but it's a bit better at getting to there. And yeah, that's pretty much all I've got to say in regards to these. So yeah, this is Astro Format Part 2, and whether or not we get more stuff in the next 3 weeks, as that's when the next stage comes out, it remains to be seen. And yeah, like, as I say in here, Astral Force is pretty much going to be known as the what if format, because what if the virus didn't hit during this format? What would we have seen out of here? Would we see more play out of Angel Feather, Genesis, or Gear Chronicle? Speaking of, where the hell's Gear Chronicle at? Fang seemed so impressive before, but now there's not even enough people playing it to warrant it being on here, so I guess only 1 person played Fang in the here. So yeah, like that Fang, yeah, like I guess Fang isn't as good as people thought it was going to be, and like, it's 1 top that I recognize is on that teams where it just did abysmally bad in. So what can we take out of that? Fang will probably be the most expensive stuff in the set, but Genesis and Angel Feather look to be the better buys. And with that being said, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Until next time, this is BooStar899, jacking out.